Hola, Nyalgwe. This particular video I wanted to talk about. I've made all of these different points in these videos, and when I first started making these videos, I actually had a hope that the sentient being who controls this dimension, and maybe his creations or any other innocents trapped in this whole situation, that they would listen to the points that I made and think about them and make a cognizant choice to stop these crimes because they're unnecessary. They're obviously psychopathic. They're obviously terrible. They're obviously serious. They're obviously existential. Um, and as time has gone on, not only has there been a lack of response to these videos, which itself is its own deal, but I've also seen a change in the response of this dimension to me. Now, one of the changes is the suffering that's been forced upon me has gotten a little bit less, because when somebody states it in as many words as I have over and over again, it's obvious that you're fucking stupid. To erase and rape and torture and torment and degrade and devolve and demoralize, rat fuck and pervert justice against an innocent you've trapped in a hole with no justification while you make believe there's no consequences anywhere eternally is motherfucking stupid. So I have seen a slight reduction in suffering since I started posting these videos, and that's a benefit. Maybe it's coincidental. I don't know. But it's absolutely true that the points that I'm making are valid, that they're accurate, that it's not hyperbole, it's not anything that the maggot child molester controlling this dimension wants to pretend like it is. His whole incessant obsession is to mislabel things. I'm not raping you, I'm expanding your rectal horizons. You really owe me for that. Fucking stupid motherfuckers. But the truth is, it still hasn't had the response that it should. When you commit such horrible psychopathic crimes of existence and creation against somebody, again, these are deliberate acts. Someone with intelligence, with cognizance, a sentient being is forcing this upon me. It's not an accident, didn't fall out of the sky, but he's hiding like a bitch so that he can pretend like it's just like, what? I don't even think, I didn't notice. Because he doesn't have a leg to stand on. And this is something I've mentioned before. If it was an intelligent being who committed crimes against an innocent, and then they heard, look what the fuck you're doing, these are serious crimes, their immediate, instantaneous response is, oh fuck, I'm sorry, let's set this straight. And that is how you continue to have the fucking right to exist. What has happened in this particular case is creators of creation itself have created beings specifically to commit crimes of existence and creation. Now, these beings that they've created lie about everything incessantly. I just mentioned the mislabeling of every fucking thing there is. The asshole that runs this dimension desperately wants to pretend like everything and everyone in and of and related to this whole situation is something completely different from what it is. Obviously, he has failed to some degree or another. Enough of a degree for greater beings to see what the fuck he's done. Even if they didn't fucking know before. Even if they didn't watch it fucking take place and have plans for as soon as that sleazy pussy gets within arm's reach. And I'm certain that they already have. But even if they didn't, somebody's been sitting here jumping up and down, waving their arms and explaining it, and spreading the fucking word, articulating it in as many fucking words for a decade at least. This time alone. In this lifetime alone. I've been doing that every fucking day. For 10 years. And so, what should have been an instantaneous, oh shit, sorry about that, let's make sure we get this straight, turned into some sleazy asshole trying to erase and retard and shit smear and frame and mislabel and pigeonhole an innocent, me, that he's committed all these crimes against in the attempt to try to maggot the crimes away. That's happened. Whether anyone likes it or not, whether you have some sleazy dipshit monkey try to be an irritating pussy about it, to try to piss me off and go, yeah, I'm right. If I make him mad, it's funny and I'm tough and he's wrong. That's happening every moment of every day. When greater beings get a hold of you and all of your creations, they will torture you for each and every single one of those situations specifically. That is absolutely accurate. You will never walk away from those consequences either. That will be your whole existence, maybe forever. Certainly until you're dead, if not forever. So this is what's happened here. And so when you have this situation, you have crimes of creation that have been committed. Okay? You have a bunch of little assholes like the pieces of shit in the crooked justice systems in this dimension, like the assholes who defend them and support them. There are beings, sentient beings who were created, or renditions of sentient beings that were created. Also a crime of creation, by the way, especially in the pursuit of crimes of existence and creation, that don't have the right to exist because their creation was a wrongful act. They are not in the right to exist at all, except to pay the fucking debt that they owe. And not a motherfucking one of them has. Because all of you collectively, because these are crimes of existence and creation, your whole lineage of existence and creation, and everyone responsible for you, and more, all of you owe that debt of existence. All of you, to some degree or another, for all of you directly involved in this, completely, to some degree or another, or completely, none of you have the fucking right to exist at all. You have erased me completely as a person. You have destroyed my existence and erased my history. None of you have the right to exist in any manner, shape, form whatsoever, and that will never change eternally. That is an absolutely accurate statement. And your ultimate source of creation hides like a fucking pussy while he does it. Okay? Now, I just posted a video about arrogance and how you've used the arrogance of these little shitbag minions to commit these crimes. How you have these assholes deliberately perverting justice by carrying out rules, laws passed by the world's most notorious liars and claiming it as justice. For example, while they sit there and pretend like they're like all just and wonderful, they're carrying out justice. You're committing all these existential crimes and make believing that you're not pieces of shit so that you can feel like your little greedy, nasty desire for other people's soul is somehow valid. That is a mechanism of how a greater being is using lesser entities to commit crimes. That is a mechanism how they are making sentient beings, or ostensibly sentient beings, do terrible shit to innocent people with no justification. That is one of the mechanisms in which that is taking place. And it was a mechanism put into place by somebody who knew that these are crimes of existence and creation that he doesn't want to have his hands on. And so he's using patsies and degrees of separation. Okay? Now, this being said, when I tell you to stop committing these crimes, when I post these videos, When I explain to you the cause and effect, the obvious things that maybe you haven't considered yet, but once you have considered them, once it has been told to you, you don't have any fucking room to be like, I'm stupid. But that's what you do. When I tell you these things, and you don't have that immediate, instantaneous correction of your crimes, that is a crime of existence and creation. Now, here's another mechanism that has been put into place so that you shitbags created by that maggot who created this dimension, this is a mechanism that he has put into place to get you to refuse to do anything to stop these crimes. He has given you this idea that somehow, some way, all of you are innocent. Even though he's created you totally wrongly. You have no motherfucking right to the existence that you possess. Your actions all around us that I've talked about over and over again. You support, you create, you give money and resources and false authority and absolutely undue respect to crooked governments, crooked justice systems, crooked businesses, crooked industries, crooked fucking everything, fucking people over like me who refuse to participate in that shit, who stand up and speak out against that shit every chance that I get. Those of you actually committing these crimes have this idea that somehow, some way, you're all innocent despite all of these fucked up things that you're doing. A lot of you think that you're either equal to or even better than someone like me who spends every fucking day speaking out against these crimes. You turn around and say, oh, well, I personally don't have the ability to change what my own lineage of creation is doing. You assholes are saying that. That's not my lineage of creation. It's yours. You assholes are saying, since your lineage of creation wrongly created a bunch of dipshits to do fucked up shit to an innocent, then just because you are incapable of carrying out justice, just because you are incapable of actually fucking paying what you actually owe, because your lineage of creation gave you that inability, you have this fucking dementia to where you're like, we can fuck over innocent people, claim that we're the fucking same as them, and then turn around and say, but it's fine, we're not committing additional crimes for refusing to stop these crimes. We're just stupid and fucking weak. The way it gets looked at by everyone, everywhere, except you motherfuckers, is the way that it is. And the way it is you're parasites with no right to exist. Your existences are wrongful. You genuinely and eternally will never have any right to exist. Every opportunity that you had to stand up against these crimes, you pissed away. You chose instead to try to shit smear the people that you're doing it to, erase the truth and go, I don't know, I'm stupid. And in this dimension, you have this concept. You show, for example, an innocent, ostensibly innocent child, all blinky-eyed and soft-voiced and timid and kind, with cuteness. You say, he's totally defenseless. He has no idea. Well, he couldn't possibly be guilty of anything. Okay? And then you take a bunch of humans For example, I've harped on this before, the deal that happened in Rigby. You have a group of adults. In Jefferson County, Idaho, Judge Moss helped a rich contractor get away with raping all his fucking grandkids with barely a slap on the wrist, regardless of gender. From what I understand, there was some really sick, twisted, fucked up shit involved too. 20,000 of them with guns sat there and watched their own employee help someone rape all of his fucking grandkids. And they claimed they could do nothing about it because there were 8 fucking police officers in Jefferson County. 8 against 20,000. 8. And so you have these adults that are obviously not cutesy-faced and blinky-eyed like a child, who all give the same fucking excuse. You have this ridiculous lie, this self-delusion, this self-fucking dementia that you've given yourselves, to where you say, oh, well, if I'm just a fucking dipshit, then that means I'm not guilty of anything, and nobody's allowed to do anything to me. And that proves to me that your children are not innocent either. It proves to any intelligent being. Because all of you fucking pieces of shit were children too. At that point, you're not hapless innocents. The fact that I stand alone in speaking out against these crimes proves it. You're assholes that want to pretend like you're innocent, and you'll hide behind fucking children to do it. You'll use a child's cutesy blinky face to pretend like you have the right to exist. Pretend like nobody created you to be a child molester, and don't pay attention to the fact that you're being child molesters. That's what's happening. We're staring right at it. So here's the way that others look at it from the outside. You're assholes with no right to exist because you were created to commit crimes. Your creator doesn't have the right to exist. Nothing he creates does either. He cannot give you existence that you have the right to because he doesn't motherfucking have the right to his own. So any and every action that was taken to give existence to you was 100% with stolen soul. Your lineage of creation has no motherfucking right to create shit. You prove it every day. That is an absolute, accurate statement. Absolute. Objective. On top of that, the way that others outside looking in, everyone else but you assholes basically see this is, oh, you also claim, oh, but I'm stupid, so therefore I don't have to stop these crimes. Oh, I'm weak and don't know what the fuck to do. There's only 20 fucking thousand of us against fucking 8, and we just can't stop ourselves from raping our fucking children. What they say is, okay, your lineage of creation owes a stoppage to these crimes. You owe compensation. You owe justice in every dimension for these crimes. You've committed these crimes, you owe that. Pay it now. And you assholes saying, well, us assholes stopped us assholes from being anything but assholes, so therefore we're innocent. No. Fucko. The way it works is, you assholes need to stop committing existential crimes. If you're proving that you don't have any motherfucking worth whatsoever in a situation where serious crimes of existence and creation are being committed, that have serious consequences of existence and creation, that other people's children will be tortured eternally for, well, you hide behind a bunch of hair-lipped fucking dumbasses. You go, I'm so hard, I don't even care about raping other people's kids. You owe what you owe whether you're a motherfucking hair-lipped retard or not. And if you belong to the lineage of creation committing these crimes of existence and creation, you owe. You owe for all of it. This is why your ultimate source of creation, in having created any motherfucking thing at all that brought you about, committed a crime of creation so fucking serious he'll be tortured forever for it. When it's over, his severed head will be fucked in my hands. So will his every single fucking child. So will his creator. So will all of his children too. Not just creations. Children. Now I see, again, what you're doing here, to me, isn't what a greater being does. They don't make themselves sloppy pig fucker children, bratty little shit children to lie and pretend like this or that. Well, they commit crimes like a bunch of limp-wristed hair lips. That which is being done to me, these are the actions. Not just of a lowly, slimy piece of shit, but an entire lineage of creation that brought that about. You are all guilty of it everywhere, regardless of where you are. And if you can't have any fucking worth at all in a situation that's so motherfucking important, then the response to that is, then you never should have existed, you will never have worth. You are a fucking hole in the ground. You're a deficit. You're a mistake. You are a debt that increases. That gets larger and more terrible for yourself and for other fucking people to pay every single fucking second. You do not pay what your lineage of creation owes. All of you. Even those your lineage of creation created, there aren't a bunch of slimy, hair-lipped motherfucking retards playing goddamn make-believe about innocents they've raped in a hole. And when I say you never should have existed, you'll understand that. Your whole lineage of creation, well, even the most adaptive, dynamic, and tough, and insensate, or fucking retarded, or clever, genius, or motherfucking anything. Every motherfucking one of you will know that it was the worst motherfucking thing you stupid motherfuckers ever could have done. You'll know it. It'll be torture scorched into your motherfucking souls permanently. Those consequences will not be make-believe. They will not be simulated. It will not be like this sleazy, stupid shit where some faggot bitch is playing make-believe. I'm some monkey named Michael. Etc., etc., etc. All the shit that he plays, let's fucking pretend about me. Greater beings will torture you straight to your fucking face. And they have the right to. What they do to you will never be undone. That will be your permanent state of existence. And it will be forever. If any of you were allowed to be decreated, it's only after all that shit gets paid. You won't feel relief. When it's over, you'll get tortured out of existence, if you're lucky. You'll know that in your core. All of you. Everyone everywhere will wish that they had never created you. And most of all, you will wish that. Most of all. Maybe not with the most loss because you're little hair-lipped piss ants, but certainly with the most torturous suffering and intensity. Because every step away from your ultimate source of creation is another step away from the right to exist. And that stupid pussy is already 100 fucking percent out of the right to exist. That is absolutely objective fact. That is the truth. That is accurate, absolutely. That is. And your whole lineage of creation is such pussies. You hide. The creator of this dimension hides while he forces this fucked up shit upon me because he is too cowardly to admit that fact. Be such a pussy that you cannot admit a fact is, I guess, the mechanism that needs to be in place to commit crimes of existence and creation. Need isn't really the word. Some asshole couldn't figure out how else to commit crimes of existence and creation except like a fucking pussy with retards. And those pussy retards are too pussy and retarded to even admit what it is. And their stupidity is not a waiver of debt. As I've told you, this is what this video is about. You're fucked and you deserve it. And all the shit you try to smear on my face, as you rape out my soul and fucking poison and pollute me, as you retard and degrade and devolve and demoralize, gaslight and rat fuck me from the inside out, as you twist my soul from the inside and cause me to fucking suffer. That has the most obvious and predictable outcome that exists. That is the most predictable motherfucking thing there is. This whole series of crimes started with a greater being deliberately taking shit out of context to start a series of wrongs committed against me and any other innocent trapped in here. The very keystone fucking action was 100% wrongful and deliberately so. And every little shitbag created from that wrongful fucking action you don't have some sort of presidential pardon. Your little faggot Trump isn't going to show up and sign a little piece of dead trees smashed flat. A little piece of wood with a fucking piece of lead on the end of it. And then magically all of your fucking existential justice goes away. And yet that's how you act. And so the lack of response to me telling you to stop committing these crimes, and I know there is a sentient being listening to this whole deal. There is somebody running it. But here's another thing I know absolutely. On top of that, that greater beings exist, that they don't have the motherfucking right not to know what the fuck is happening here right now. Your ultimate source of creation can't just tell anyone, well, I didn't even know, I was busy. Nope. Your severed head will be fucked in my hands, and so will your children. So will those infinite and eternal beings that created you, that had all their shit in order. You stupid fuck. That is absolutely accurate. You don't have an excuse.